Hello, my name is Kristina Heineman, and I have created this video titled The Supply and Demand of Taconite Pellets for my Microeconomics class during the summer semester of 2019. I am currently an engineering intern at a taconite mine on the Iron Range, so I figured it was a good time to tie in the two topics as I am learning about taconite pellets as well as microeconomics. So what is taconite? Taconite is a mineral in the ground that makes steel. It is mined across the Iron Range from Keewatin to Babbitt. What the mines do is they explode the rock from the ground and crush it into a fine texture. From there, it is magnetically separated so that the original dirt goes back into the ground and the taconite moves then forward in the process to be created into pellets. Pellets are essentially just small balls of the material. Once those pellets are created, they are shipped to steel mills all over the United States. In those steel mills, the pellets are used to create steel, and that steel is subsequently shipped all over the world for multiple uses, including cars, phones, and structural steel. As just mentioned, one of the uses for steel is cars. Now, demand for cars is currently very high, with the population rising and travel being very necessary as gas prices are fairly low compared to past rates, and airline tickets are currently quite high, especially for a young college student. But will demand for cars always be this high? We suddenly find a new kind of transportation. No, we won't resort to horse and buggy again, of course not. But will there be something different? Will we have flying cars one day that aren't made of aluminum or steel, that are made of wood or some different type of material? Will we create a new material? Will this demand always be so high? And with me mentioning aluminum, what about aluminum vehicles? The Iron Range pellets create steel. Now, if cars suddenly become created out of aluminum, will this drastically alter the Iron Range's economy? We create steel. We don't create aluminum. Will the Iron Range suddenly not be alive? Or would we find a new industry? There's an industry up in International Falls and Grand Rapids that United Papermaking creates that's paper making. Would we suddenly go to that? Or we find something different, such as helping create large ships and barges for the port in Duluth? Where would we go to? But with demand of steel also comes supply. Now, the Iron Range has had a long history of mining for taconite, and originally it was iron ore, which is why it's called the Iron Range. Now, when iron ore suddenly became scarce, engineers and scientists found that they could create steel with a new mineral in the ground called taconite, which is harder to find and is finer than iron ore was. Will we also be able to do that when our supply of taconite runs out? Because for how long we've been going on with taconite, will we still be able to do that? This is a resource that cannot be grown again. This is a non-renewable resource. We will eventually run out of it, and we will eventually run out of the mines. So what will we supply to a market instead? Will it be the ships? We may not supply the steel anymore, but perhaps we will supply the skilled workforce. Perhaps we will supply the wood for creating buildings and for shipping off to building centers across the globe. We have a plentiful of trees in the area. So how will our area change, and how will our economy change? We may have a downturn when it comes to the mines shutting down, or we may have an upswing once we see that the mines are shutting down and we may see there's this new industry. What if we find a new process to create steel? No more taconite. What if there's something else in the ground? Thank you for listening to my video, and have a great summer.